I am not admitting all the note takers based on some feedback from some people being overtaken. So that's why that happened. Hello, how is everyone's week going? Good. It is Taylor Swift album release day in my household, so we are ending our week there. But I didn't take off, like, just don't have a lot of meetings, so. But
that's funny. I know lots of people who are very excited about it.
Yeah, got to make breakfast and put the album on while I made breakfast and stuff, so I'll get there. Our main topic for today is chatting through what people do in a new HubSpot portal, or when they're new to a HubSpot portal is maybe a better way of phrasing the question. This is something I've spent too much time talking about, probably. So I am happy to share some of my thoughts there, but definitely, as always, we like for these sessions to be collaborative, and we like to hear from you. Generally don't like to hear myself talk for the next 55 minutes. So feel free to raise your hand. There's at the bottom, there's a little hand icon. You can use that to raise your hand, and also the chat over here on the side as well is a little chat button. It looks like a little box, speaking box, cartoon speaking box. So you can also pop questions or thoughts there if you don't want to come off mute. That's an option too. But yeah, so just setting the groundwork. When I say a new portal, I'm saying new to you. That may be a brand new portal, but it may not be. And oftentimes, in my experience at least, it is not a new portal in most cases.
Yes.
Deleting the subscriber lifecycle stage if it's not used, that's fair.
I wish it wasn't used. It would be so much easier.
Yeah, truly. One of the things I always like to do personally, and we'll preface this by saying I come with a marketing lens. You, whoever you are, may come with a different lens, whether that's RevOps, sales, service, whatever. But from my perspective, a lot of times what I'll do is what I say, like, follow a lead. So I'll go in to the contacts and I'll pick a contact that was created today, yesterday, this week, and I'll see what happened. I just truly just look at their timeline and see, what form did they submit, what workflows did they go through, and do that for a couple of people, just to get a little bit of a sense of how people are getting into HubSpot and what's happening to them after they get into HubSpot. And that's been helpful for me sometimes just to get my bearings, because I feel like that's the hardest part, is like getting your bearings, because even if you're very familiar with HubSpot, you're very good with the navigation and everything, every portal has a different nomenclature. They might be not using any landing pages and just using website pages or something like that. So it can be helpful to just kind of get a little bit of a sense. Marcy, I know you recently started a job.
Yeah. I mean, I reached out to Casey when I came because what the current portal that I'm working on is very messy. It's kind of just been like 4 years of everybody just doing what they want between marketing and sales. And so I did what Casey said, followed a lead, but then I am also very spreadsheet friendly, we'll call, but I'll just share my screen real quick. Because let's see, I made a checklist kind of just to keep me organized in some way. So I have the section, item, what to check. I have status. So once I put it in, it will either do check mark, this or X. I have my notes, and then I have priority level over here. So I just built this spreadsheet because I needed to keep myself organized and just try to stay on task and put notes, because I think I'm the first admin they've had in a while. So it was, like I said, just all over the place. And so for me, I needed to also learn, because I also was coming from B2C to B2B, where they use a lot of companies and deals and things like that. And even though I do have another B2B part of my B2C, we didn't use deals or companies. It was strictly contacts. So it was just very different. And so, you know, with the help of, you know, we have Hub Helper Harry here in ChatGPT. With the help of that, I also came up with like just a Word document to kind of have on the side to kind of go through and like provide to my boss of like, hey, here's the things we need to look at. Here's some of the questions to kind of just help understand, you know, what he knew of the instance too. So I haven't been able to finish my audit yet because we had other projects, but yeah, I just feel like having something like this is very helpful, and it will lead to other things as well that you'll find just by going down the rabbit hole of one of these things. So
a lot of people are asking in the chat for you to share even like a cleaned copy, Marcy, if you're able to.
Yeah, I'll clean it up and share it for sure.
I did want to ask, like, how much of it is, in your opinion, like standard every portal versus how much of it is like customized to your specific portal and use case? So I'll keep, while you think about that, I'll say more. I have found, like, I've tried to make checklists in the past, and I'll make it, but then I go to follow it at if you don't know, hi, I'm Casey. I do HubSpot consulting. So I don't work in a single portal. I work in many portals. And what I found is that I'll make a checklist while I'm doing this for a single portal, but then I'll go to another portal, and then a lot of the stuff just like doesn't make sense for that portal, and I end up skipping stuff or adding stuff. So I've always had trouble making a checklist because of that.
I agree. I mean, I think there were some things on the overall checklist that I had that I ultimately ended up removing because it just wasn't like, they're not using leads right now, you know, so like they weren't using tickets. So anything like that, I just stripped off my spreadsheet. But obviously if they're using those things, then I would have added them back in, but they just weren't. So there was no point in auditing them. So this wasn't the full spreadsheet that I originally made. I kind of just pared it down to what I needed to actually look at for this company, at least.
Marcy, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You said that you're following a lead. How are you doing that in HubSpot?
Well, they use companies. So they do companies. Let's see. Let me know if this works. I'm sharing the spreadsheet. Hold on real quick. So they're not using like the leads, like pipeline stuff. They're using companies and contacts, and then ultimately makes a deal. They eventually will, but they've never had an admin that used that. So like, because we're a healthcare company, their main source is company. And so like a lot of the things that they're changing is on the company level, and they only really do the contacts that they're actually contacting. So I think they just use it a little different. And then once they qualify a lead or send pricing, that's when a deal is made.
Okay, so are you following the lead after that to see if it becomes sold?
They do through the deals.
Okay.
I mean, once they send pricing, because they have to qualify through so many things because we're selling a software. And so once they send pricing, they do a demo and an executive overview is what they call it. Then they're sales qualified, and then that's when the deal is made. But our sales cycle, you know, because we're selling an EHR software, it could be 1 to 2 years until that is actually closed, because So we have a very long life cycle. And so we don't make a deal until they're technically really qualified. And so once they're in a deal, eventually they move into NetSuite, and that's kind of when a different team takes it over. And then eventually the sales will move it to close won or close lost. But yeah, once it kind of goes into the deal, that's kind of where I drop out of the process, because I'm more focused on keeping the companies clean, the contacts clean. Really, this instance was bare bones. So like I came in and redid their whole life cycle stages and lead statuses, and it's now training sales, but it's very slow burn for sure.
Yeah, we have a long sales cycle too. It could be between 2 to 4 years.
Yeah.
No, that's why I was asking about that, because a lot of our leads are just there until they're ready to purchase.
Yeah, we'll still nurture them, and we'll send them, they do a lot of events. So we'll invite them to come by the booths at the events that they're in. And then obviously they get our newsletter. We'll nurture them in other ways. But until they're really it's really up to sales to figure out how often they should be reaching out, and I think at some point during the contract, they're not even allowed to reach out to certain places because it goes to legals. And so it's a very different atmosphere than before. I'm still learning. I literally just started in August, so I'm still learning a lot of what they're doing in their business.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Casey.
Hi, Valerie. I was going to jump in and say, so if you have a really long sales process, like you're saying, Valerie, where it's years, it can be hard to follow a lead.
Yeah.
Because that's something well, and even there's a whole nother challenge in my head that I'm spiraling on with that, in how do you know what's working?
Right. So we're lead scoring, which, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, Casey is a wonderful teacher when it comes to lead score. I have to put a time on it, because it can't be a whole year. It has to be 6 months, but that 6 months may not be true, because they're not going to be ready for maybe a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a dilemma. So
yeah,
I'm still figuring that out.
What I might do in those instances is I might look at some recent closed won deals and kind of look backwards instead of following them forward, follow them backwards.
That's a good idea.
And look at everything that happened. Because when I say I'm following a lead, what I'm really trying to do is figure out what systems do we have in place in HubSpot. That's, if I'm trying to get my bearings in HubSpot, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out what's triggering their life cycle stages changing. Is that good? Accurate? Where is that? Is that because they're connected to a company and the company's getting updated, or is it being done on the contact?
Mm-hmm.
Are there workflows, or is it done just because they got attached to a deal? All of those little pieces that are very nuanced, it can be hard to figure out. And the reason I like to look at a record and do this is sometimes it's happening in multiple places.
Right.
And it's very hard to figure that out unless you're actually looking at records and looking at who existed and what happened to them and where. And so looking backwards might be more helpful. Where I work in marketing, email is another thing I'm always pretty eager to see. And when I say email, I really mean email volume. Because I actually have a old colleague who reached out to me just this week and was like, hey, started a new job, need HubSpot help, scheduled time. And her big issue was their unsubscribe rate was huge. And she was like, people are getting emailed constantly. I don't know where they're getting emailed from. They have multiple workflows running. So that's something I like to kind of get in front of as early as I can, because it can cause a really big issue. Your email list is is really valuable, but if you're misusing your email list, then that can be a real big problem too. So that's another thing I try to look at early. And I think it's something people don't notice very early a lot of times, because you might not realize that your workflows are running and sending these emails out in many cases.
I will say with that, Casey, one of the things I did was also I exported all of the workflows from HubSpot, like even if they were off, and I just went one by one and made notes of like what they do, how many people have enrolled in the last 7 days, how many people have enrolled in the entire like data analytics that holds for the workflow. And that was really helpful too, to go through things and be like, okay. And I found like multiple workflows that were doing the same thing that didn't need to be done.
I'm really curious how AI might be able to help with that in the future. I actually know I have a friend, she's not on today, who used the ChatGPT integration with HubSpot to kind of at least start that process. Because I did an audit a couple of months ago, Marcy, for a company that had, I think they had 500 active workflows. And at the end of the day, like I'm not a cheap resource. So me going individually through 500 workflows, it's not practical, but it's also not probably not the best use of resources, basically. So that's where something like ChatGPT might be able to say to do a lot of the legwork, and then say, hey, here are the workflows that like are kind of red flags and things like that.
Honestly, my problem is we're not allowed to, they have their own AI, and so we're not allowed to hook up to anything else. So, and their AI is not very good. So it's not like I can have like our HubSpot.
Yeah, it looks like Allie, you used Harry to make a plan. I hope Nico joins at some point. He might have some insight there too. If you don't know Nico, he a lot of times joins the second half of these calls. I think he has a conflict during the first half, but he created Hub Helper Harry. So we are all eternally grateful to him.
Yes, Nico.
So where is Harry? Where does Harry live?
He's on ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah, they blocked access to ChatGPT here.
So I've been using.
That's wild. Sorry.
That's too. So that's what I was saying. Like, we're not allowed to use ChatGPT on my work computer. We're only allowed to use their AI platform. So I've just been going back and forth between my personal and my work computer.
Yeah. But oh well. Maybe I'll use it in my when I work from home. I'll use it on my personal computer and use it that way.
Yeah, let's see if I can send a link. I'll see. This should, here, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, if you're in ChatGPT, use that. But you can also just go to, if you leave it here, ChatGPT, Explore, and then I use him a lot, so he might not just pop up for you.
Is this a paid account, Casey?
No, this is a free account.
Okay.
I don't pay for anything.
Mine's also free. I don't pay for ChatGPT.
But
Hub Helper Harry is amazing. Yeah. If you don't have them, you should get them.
But I don't know. I'm guessing Marcy and Valerie, if ChatGPT is blocked, you may have Breeze blocked too. But I think Breeze, HubSpot's internal chat GPT, might be able to help in this case too. Yeah. It's gotten a lot better for me, and I feel like I probably say this every week. It's Breeze lately has been really hit or miss. Some days I'll ask it questions and it will be super helpful and like amazing and just spit out the answers.
Yes.
Other days I'll ask it questions, the same questions. Like I have truly asked the same questions. Like Thursday I'll ask it, and then Friday it's like, whew, wish I could help, but just not my thing. And I'm like, hey, did you think about the fact that you did this yesterday? And it's like, wish I could help. Wish I could.
Agreed. I feel the same about Breeze. I can use Breeze in HubSpot because they don't block that, but
okay.
I feel exactly the same about Breeze. So Casey, like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like I get more mad at it than actually.
Yeah.
than anything. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving this conversation. I will say though, the Breeze or the AI you can use to generate properties, that's pretty spot on since I started. I use it. Yeah. I will say, if you're specific enough, it actually populates, and you can edit it before you actually make the property. So it is very helpful, and it saves some time too.
Very cool. The other thing I just wanted to call out that I always look at pretty early in my audits, I look at the DNS connections pretty early. That's trauma. I am like traumatized by email and website DNSs not being set up. So I'm very quick to look there. You don't necessarily have to. But the other one that I do always look at and is less trauma based is marketing contact limits. And I think what I will start doing moving forward is HubSpot credits. Are they using them? Do they have them? And are they using them? Are they going over and things like that? With the marketing contacts, if a company has marketing contacts, I like to see where they fall in their limits. I have seen both people very much underutilizing their marketing contacts, but then also a lot, honestly, more often is people have too many marketing content or have too many people set to marketing contacts than what they need. And I think it's just a misunderstanding about marketing contacts and how they work. Marketing contacts, at the end of the day, those are the people each month that you can send marketing emails to and sync with your ad campaigns. Whether or not you're using it, most of the time it's email based primarily. The syncing of your ad campaigns may or may not be as relevant to your business. But it's in a given month. You can turn people off from marketing contacts, and that doesn't mean that they are never allowed to get your emails again. And that's the thing I find people don't always understand going in to HubSpot. And so they have everyone that they might ever want to email set to marketing contacts. So just something else I try to look at early, as it can be costing money. And then the Breeze credits is something I haven't looked at historically, but I think I will moving forward. And that's around are they using them? I know I have HubSpot gave a lot of portals HubSpot credits, and a lot of the portals I work in are not using them because they're new and they don't really know what to do. But they're kind of being wasted if you're not using them, and they are monthly. So one thing that's a priority for me for Q4 is getting my clients set up so that they are at least utilizing the credits that they have, not necessarily going over, but at least trying them.
Casey, what do you think?
Casey,
Sorry, go ahead, Bella.
Casey, when you say marketing contacts, what do you mean by that?
Let me bring up.
Is that something new in HubSpot?
No, it's been around for a while. If you go to accounts and billing in your portal, usage and limits, marketing contacts here. It's the demo portal. Let me go to
Account billing. Okay.
Chris isn't here today, right? He keeps changing the name of our portal, and it's very annoying. You can also get here if you just actually click HubSpot credits. Weirdly, that also makes it a little easier. You can go to marketing contacts.
HubSpot credits under my name, right? And where you were?
Yep, under here, if you go to HubSpot credits.
Marketing contacts. I did not even know that existed.
So every HubSpot subscription has, maybe not every, most HubSpot subscriptions, well, especially if you have Marketing Hub, you have marketing contacts, and In this portal, we have 2,000. If we go over that 2,000, we will automatically get billed for the next tier, which is, I think, at this level, it's probably every 1,000.
Yeah.
So then we would start paying for 3,000 marketing contacts per month. And that price is locked in until our next renewal. That piece is like very important.
Okay, well, I don't have that, and my renewal didn't have that marketing contacts. We do have marketing enterprise. So maybe at my next renewal, I'll have that.
You are probably have a legacy subscription prior to marketing contacts. They came out like, I don't know, 4 years ago, I want to say. I know when I first started independent consulting, it was still like kind of 50-50 whether or not people had marketing contacts or not.
And
Now it's
okay.
it's much heavier. But the reason I always call this out is, yeah, I have a lot of clients who are either really close to their limit or they've already pushed over their limit.
Mhm.
And one thing I like to do pretty quickly is just take a list of marketing contacts who have hard bounced, who have unsubscribed from all our emails, or honestly, a lot of times I'll look at people who we haven't even sent an email to in over a year. And a lot of times people still are keeping those as marketing contacts when they don't need to. And the way marketing contacts work is you can turn someone into a marketing contact at any point in the month, but they can only be turned off from a marketing contact at the end of the month. If you have Ops Hub, what I will set up in my Data Hub, I guess. What I set up in those portals a lot of times is a workflow that on the last day of the month will turn all the marketing contacts to non-marketing, and then I just turn people back into marketing contacts as I use them throughout the month. If you have a real close marketing contact thing, you can do that, and you have Data Hub. Monthly. So yeah, so I'll do on the last day of the month, I'll do it in the morning. Contact. Marketing.
Ooh.
There's usually a marketing contact status. This is a demo portal, so sometimes there's some, yeah, it's not coming up here. But then there's, I would just enroll all my marketing contacts there.
Well, thank you for sharing. I will have to find out about that through my marketing billing people.
Yeah.
Or HubSpot billing people.
Yeah, you might just not have it yet.
Yeah.
JC, what is the purpose of marketing contacts?
So marketing contacts are it's a billing thing for HubSpot. So HubSpot charges accounts by the number of marketing contacts they have. And if someone is set to a marketing contact, they are allowed to get marketing emails, and you're allowed to use them in ad audiences that you sync to your ad platforms. The purpose of them is, to have a way for HubSpot to bill based on like how many people you're marketing to. HubSpot has like had a free CRM forever. And then at some point, I think they basically were like, hey, we can't host all of this data. So that's really it. There's also a piece that's like ensuring that you're not blasting people with emails, if you want to look at it in a more positive light than just billing.
Hey, Casey, I wanted, just in case people also don't know, HubSpot credits, what you actually use them for, because those are kind of newer. And like now that they're like, you get so many free, like what do you mostly use your HubSpot credits for? In workflows, or now that enrichment too is free, like what are you using those HubSpot credits for?
Yeah, so I think how many credits you have depends on your plan. You can use them in workflows. You can also use them with some of the agents. HubSpot released a bunch of new agents at Inbound. A lot of those agents are still in beta and they're not currently using credits, but they will eventually, is the truth of the matter. The agents that are not in beta, data agent, prospecting agent, customer agent, customer agent and prospecting agent at least are 100 credits per like use. Let me bring it up. There's a table one time I saw of all the things. Things cost. But yeah, I know that overages, there's so many things. Pricing model. Yeah, so all HubSpot customers with the seat-based pricing model now have credits included in their platform. I know there's a table somewhere of like what the different things cost. So I'm just trying to find that. I don't really want to lie to you publicly. But yeah, I know that the customer agent and prospecting agent, and I suspect the data agent, are 100 credits per run. So in this portal specifically, I have 5,000 credits. So if I use it for one of those agents, I have 50 runs a month, which may or may not meet my needs. Because of that, I've been prioritizing what I refer to as like lower cost uses of the agents, of the credits rather. And that's primarily in workflows. So you can use this to fill smart properties, to research and summarize records. I'm mostly using it right now for this summarize records. One use case that I have running currently, Valerie had mentioned I do a lot of lead scoring stuff. Most of the time how companies are using lead scoring is to identify which contacts in their database should be sent to sales. So I have some portals set up that once we do the handoff to sales, we do a summarized record and we put that into the notification to the sales team. The summarized record shows is a summary of the record's properties and recent activities, which is a way to just better inform the sales team for like sales enablement. So that is one of the main ways I'm using it right now. However, there's also the smart properties. That's another great use of the credits. The smart properties, let me bring that up. We can get there now. Smart properties, here we go. Custom properties populated with AI-driven answers for data insights specific to your business. So the templates they have is like, what is their sentiment about a product or feature? This is going to use call transcripts and email transcripts. Any of the smart properties, one of the big things to consider is whether or not you're feeding HubSpot enough data for this to actually be meaningful. And that's something when you look at how to best use your credits to consider. Filling out feature sentiment, if I don't have my call transcripts or emails synced to HubSpot, is just going to honestly waste credits. And I'm better off at that point looking at something like new funding or investment, has the company secured a funding round in the past year? That's going to use a researching online, not using necessarily the credits in the data in HubSpot. A lot of information. I know there's a lot of questions out there in the community about the cost of credits. There was a post on LinkedIn that kind of blew up a couple weeks ago around a company who blew through their Breeze credits because they had the customer agent running. The customer agent is 100 credits per run. So they blew through all their credits pretty quickly. The thing to keep in mind is what is the credit, the whatever you're using doing, and how much is that worth to your company? When I first saw the smart properties, the first thing I did was build a smart property doing one of my least favorite tasks, which is mapping the single line text state field into a consistent drop down select state field. I have built workflows for years doing this, and it drives me truly insane. I very quickly was able to create a smart property that did that. However, is that the best use of my credits? That's going to depend. Depend on the business, depend how you're using state field, depend on how dirty the data in the state field is. There's a bunch of things to consider there. There's not like a single answer. Any questions about credits? A lot of people have a lot of questions about credits, and I don't have a lot of answers. So
That's great. I haven't even started using ours yet, so
yeah.
there's so much to do, and like that is on the lower end of my priority list.
Yeah, I mean, so I mentioned like one of my priorities for Q4 is making sure my clients are all like actually using their credits. And most of how I intend to do that, at least to start, is the data enrichment side. If they have calls and emails synced with HubSpot, then that opens up some doors for us. But if they don't, then we'd be looking at some of the company research items. What do you want to know? Whether that's going to come from your record. I will say, I should have said this at the top when I mentioned that. If you're making a smart property that's going to research online, at this time, those properties can only research on company records, not on contact records. So just, I don't know, just think about that. No text, I think, smart properties. So yeah, so when it's a company record, you can use web research and you can look at the company's website. But if it is a contact, you can only look at the HubSpot product property data and call transcripts at this time. And that is a little bit of a bummer, but also less creepy. So, you know, I'm kind of glad HubSpot's data agent isn't like searching for me as a person.
I agree with that. Perfect. Well, thank you. I'm trying to think of like anything else we haven't hit when going into a new portal.
Yeah, I mean, I know I talked a lot about the marketing side. From the sales side, just following like the process, I definitely like to look at the sales workspace. Is that set up? Are they using leads? Also looking at like sequences. And then as AI becomes like a bigger piece of HubSpot, I think something I'll need to incorporate more of is what data is syncing with HubSpot. is that being synced and associated reliably? Because I mentioned call transcripts, email transcripts. Those aren't helpful if they don't exist in the system. So having that syncing is just going to be an important component moving forward and something to kind of push for early. There's also Commerce Hub and Service Hub. Commerce Hub's less used. I think one of the things I do commonly when I first get into a portal is I do just go to accounts and billing and look at what products they have. I know this is like, it feels kind of basic, but it's going to help you figure out what you can do. This is a fully unlocked enterprise portal. It has enterprise access to all of the hubs, but if you find yourself in a portal that doesn't have Marketing Hub, but you've been asked to like audit the marketing program, then that's kind of a red flag immediately.
Perfect. Does anybody else have any questions or anything that they want to talk about?
I have a question not related to credits.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I am building my website in the free version, which is fine for now. The theme I'm using has an image, but I don't see that in my images and files. Any idea where that would be hidden?
Did you add a theme or did you just...
I added a theme. Give me a second. Let me get to content, website pages. Here we go. I'm gonna share my screen here in a second.
Yeah, no problem.
So entire screen. Okay. Let me know when you can see it.
We can see it.
Okay. So what I'm trying to do is see this parallax here,
Mm-hmm.
and there's an image hidden behind it. And I can't figure out where that image is. The reason being is I'm trying to add my own image because this is too dark. But then I'm getting errors with my own image. So I was trying to figure out what size this is, but I can't see that at all, you know, where that is. So I did, let me go here. And I was able to get to my files and images. So if I go to images, I don't see that there. And so then there's the images folder, and then there's files folder. So this is the image I want to use, but I don't see the theme image. These are the fonts I uploaded. So I don't see that anywhere.
I wonder if it's hard-coded in the theme.
You think?
Yeah. Can you go back to the page editor?
Mm-hmm.
On the left-hand side, there's a little like tree. Yeah.
What section? Do you know what that section is called, Diva?
Yeah, I think video background.
Oh, you're close. You're close. Oh, if you click it, we'll take you out. It should grab it once you kind of go over it. See how it's highlighting
There,
there.
parallax.
There you go. Oh, you were just there. There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, click replace. And then type in here. It looks like the alt text is BG people. Sometimes, usually that's
I
like
tried that.
that's not.
Nope. So I'm not so sure where that's coming from. I mean, all I want to do is figure out what the size is, because when I put my own image, it seems like the size is not right.
could inspect it, I guess.
Yeah,
on
that's what I was gonna
the
say.
website.
You probably want to inspect. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe.
Yeah, you might have to go on the actual front end of the site,
Mhm.
of the website to do it, because it's going to be different in here than it will be on the web.
Oh, goodness.
You don't have to publish it though. You can just take the preview link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that will work.
And then open a new tab.
There we go.
All right. So then if I go here. Okay, so that says
That's the.
container that's heading.
Will you put your mouse over the actual picture? You're on the heading right now. Move up a little bit and click it. See if it will let you click the whole image or if it's only letting you.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so go. At one point, it did let you grab it.
No, it's not. I can only get it one. Okay, so that's
I
the
don't know.
heading.
Yeah, that's just the heading.
Okay, this is 768 by 119.59. That's
Yeah,
not it.
that's not the.
That
There you go. That's
768 by 500. That's the whole image in the back.
I doubt that that's the full size of it. What do you
Yeah,
think?
that doesn't seem right either because it's pretty.
It's probably being.
That's pretty wide. Like that's at least 1,200 characters wide.
Can you right click the image and open image in a new tab?
No, it's not
No.
even picking it up as an image.
Mhm.
Get image description.
Did you, when you were inspecting it, did you happen to see what this was called, the image? Okay.
No.
Will you go over, do you see where it says background image? Go to your right, click that link and see if that will open it.
Okay.
You grab the whole link and open it. Okay, so it's open there. Oh, there you go. 1920 by 1080.
1920 by 1080. Okay. So
If
it's
you
very.
need to, you could probably grab that URL of that JPEG and open it and save image as, but you'll probably have to copy it.
Okay, so
When you hovered over it, it brought up or click the image maybe, or double click it maybe. That info we just had.
yeah, give me a second. Let me get back there.
That's okay. I mean, that size should get you where you need to go though.
It was in view page sources where we went.
No, we were in inspect.
Okay, give me a second. Come back here. Inspect. And it was, you said
You had to grab the whole image.
here.
Yep, and then the URL. Yep. I wonder if you could copy that URL and then open it. So there's the full image, and then maybe you could save it as image and then use that as your template for your new image. Save image as.
Okay, there, that works. All right, thank you. That was helpful. I mean, I've done this with Salesforce, but not with HubSpot, like inspecting. So that's good. So that's what it is, because my file size is not the same as this. It's not 1920 by 1080. I should make a note of it here. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Because it's too dark and I wanted something a little bit visible. So that helps. Thanks. So goal is to try and get this completed as fast as I can. So that was helpful. Thank you.
Of course.
Way to go, Marcy.
All right. I'm sorry.
I just said, way to go, Marcy.
Yes.
Oh, we have a question. Has anyone had success with the OpenAI ChatGPT connector to perform portal audit requests? I have yet to have success. Any tips, tricks, sample prompts, or does it not do what was advertised? This is definitely a Nico question, I feel like.
David, I did just make a group Slack between you and my friend Trisha. She used it recently for that use case. She had some problems connecting the portal that she was trying to do the audit on. But we'll see if she has any advice for you. She might be able to help. I haven't, is I guess really the answer.
I have not either.
Is the more direct way of answering that.
I wanted to, but then they told me I wasn't allowed to use ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, does anybody have anything else? If not, we can call it a day.
Well, I was just looking, my file is exactly the same size, so I'm not so sure why I'm getting an error in Parallax. I'll have to investigate this further. But
Yeah. Sometimes if you can reach out to HubSpot support about it, but a lot of times when it's templated, they have you reach out to like whoever built the template. Just a heads up.
yeah, or community, like I can't get to support at all. So I can't wait till I can start paying, hopefully in the next few weeks. That'd be good.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, pretty soon. I hope pretty soon. So, anyways, thank you so much. These calls are so helpful, Casey, Marcy.
Yeah.
I have to drop, but I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.